The New York Rangers have a few really talented prospects currently playing in the CHL, 2 in the OHL, and 1 in the QMJHL. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at these prospects, give you guys an update on how they're doing and how their team is doing as well in the standings. So starting off here, taking a look at the first guy here, we have Bryce McConnell-Barker, a very solid center prospect, former third-round pick back at the 2022 NHL draft, taken with the number 97th overall pick. And this guy's been very good so far. Still only 19, 6'2", 194-pound center, left-handed shot. And this guy is more known for his defensive play, but even this year, his team's off to a good start, and so is he as a player. But taking a look at the standings for the Sioux Greyhounds, they're currently sitting in second place in the Western Conference, a decent ways back of Kitchener for the top spot, who are probably going to lock up the Western Conference, but we're still a ways out, so they might be able to catch them. Right now, though, Kitchener is looking like a very good team, though. So they're off to a good start, though. The Sioux Greyhounds, they're looking pretty good, and so is Bryce McConnell-Barker, as he does have a pretty solid point total already this year. And let's remember, though, he is known as a good defensive center. That's what he was drafted as, too. So these points aren't even that bad, considering he is more of a defensive guy than an offensive threat. So taking a look here, he has 28 games played, 11 goals, 15 assists, 26 points. And I'm not sure if his ceiling is high enough to be a first-line kind of guy, but I do think he can seriously be a middle six center. He's got a really good two-way game, can kill penalties, like I said, good on the draws, has some offensive talent, can score goals, play make. He's not a bad offensive player. It's just his defensive game is his, primary asset. So I think he's probably more of a middle six kind of guy at the NHL level one day if he makes it. But I do think he's still really talented and could be a great player for the Rangers down the road one day. Next up here, we have massive 6'7" center prospect Dylan Roobroeck. This guy, a great prospect, can play center, can play a bit of wing if you have to as well. So not a bad guy at all, but big 6'7", 205 pounds, sixth-round pick from this year's draft. So his original draft year was 2022, so he should have been drafted the same year as Bryce McConnell-Barker and Adam Sikora, but he did not because he obviously just went undrafted. So he got drafted this year by the Rangers in the 2023 draft, and so far, looking like a decent prospect, especially for a sixth-round pick. 6'7", you can't teach that kind of height. It's not possible. So having a guy like that, you can obviously help work on his skills and his skating and stuff. And his skating for his size, you'll see from some of these clips here, is pretty good. So he's not a bad skater. He's got some good hands, got a good shot, good playmaking. Needs to work on his overall game and a bit of hockey IQ, I guess you could say, and get a little smarter on the ice. But other than that, he's a pretty solid player. And he has some decent hands. You can see here he has some decent skill, especially for a guy who is 6'7". So that's not bad there. Like I said, you cannot teach that height, but you can teach the other stuff. So having a guy like this with an already decent skill set, good skating ability, this kind of size, could be a decent prospect down the road one day for the Rangers. But carrying on here and taking a look at what his team has done so far this year in the OHL, they've been pretty awful, if I'm being honest here. They have currently tied for 8th place out of 10 teams in the Eastern Conference. So he's not doing too great there, obviously. One of the worst teams in the entire OHL, so not ideal there. But either way, he's still a solid player. He can still get some more experience. Maybe he gets moved to the deadline or something. You never know, because obviously trades happen in this as well. So we'll see what happens. But I do think that obviously it sucks he's on a bad team and he's probably not going to be able to go on a playoff run. But he might. Obviously, 8 teams out of the 10 do make in each conference, so they still have a shot. It's just they are one of the worst teams in the entire conference, and there's pretty much 3 teams fighting for that last spot in the Eastern Conference. So we'll see if they make it or not. But taking a look at what he's done so far this year with his team, he has 25 games played, 6 goals, 15 assists, 21 points. Not too bad. He's a solid player. For a guy who's 6'7", he's doing a good job offensively. He's showing his talent. It's just his overall team isn't great. So he's kind of suffering from that, I'm sure. But he's a great player and hopefully can continue to progress and develop and get even better. And next up here, we have prospect Maxim Barbashev. He's a Russian guy, but currently playing in the QMJHL, and he's spent the last 3 seasons there with the Moncton Wildcats. But this season has been with the Shawinigan Cataracts and Rimouski Oceanic, which is, yes, Alexis Lafreniere's old QMJHL junior team. So that's pretty cool there. Alexis Lafreniere's old team. We have a prospect on there right now. But he has had a very interesting offseason, so let's take a look at that right now. So like I said, has spent the last 3 years of his career with the Moncton Wildcats, and then this offseason ended up getting traded to the Shawinigan Cataracts. they had too many import players, but just like non-North American guys. So they had some extra Euro guys come over, and you can only have up to 2 dress at once. So we couldn't get a lot of playing time at the start right away with Shawinigan. It ended up making a move, cleared up a spot for him on the roster, opened up an import spot. So he got in there, played a decent amount with Shawinigan this year, playing 15 games, having 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points, not doing too bad at all. Then we see, though, he ends up getting moved to Rimouski, where he finally is starting to really get going, it seems like, where now he has 6 games played, 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points. And taking a look at Maxim here, he's a great prospect. 6'1", 183 pounds. He's a Russian, obviously born prospect, 19 years old, turning 20 in December. Left winger, taken in the 2022 draft in round 5 with pick number 161. So not a bad prospect. So far has been decent for a 5th round pick. But overall, he's a solid prospect. His brother is in the NHL right now. Maxim Barbashev won a Stanley Cup with the Golden Knights and the Blues. So hopefully he can follow in his brother's footsteps and have a great NHL career as well. But then taking a look here at the standings where Rimouski is currently sitting, they are right now in 4th place. Not doing too bad. They're in a playoff spot for sure. They're probably going to make the playoffs and hopefully go on a decent playoff run, but they're definitely not one of the best teams as Baie-Comeau and Halifax and even Moncton, one of his former team from the last 3 years. They're all the top 3 teams in the East right now. So he's not in a bad spot at all. Rimouski's looking like a good team. He's off to a good start this year, and hopefully that can continue. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please smash the like button. Don't forget to comment down below your guys' thoughts on this video. Thank you so much for watching. And also, don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content I do post every single day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.